All right, gang. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great day. Good to be with you here. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're new to the Facebook chat here, throw it out there. Just say me where you're watching from, and if you have any weather related, any question. This is pretty low key, laid back here. Happy to answer those for you. But we'll walk through the forecast here. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a pretty nice, not just day to day, but nice couple of days here. So let's get started. This is in Bedford, down in Lawrence County. Looks really good. No major issues there. Let's kind of bounce around some other cameras that we have here. Let's go to Carmel. It's pretty good. 66 degrees, a little cloud cover. It's not going to be as gloomy today as it was yesterday. Let's see, what else do we have? We got, let's go downtown. Oh yeah, good look at the circle there. This is on the northwest side of town. You can kind of see the breaks in the clouds there. And let's go to the zoo.
Wow, all right. At the Chroma, huh? Media. Yeah,
Zoo is going to be quite the popular place, I would assume. And there you go, last camera. That's our backyard looking downtown. It's quite bright downtown right now, so we're in excellent shape. We're doing this Facebook Live at, what time is it? It's 8:46. And we got numbers in the mid-60s here this morning, so we're in pretty good shape. Pretty good shape. Cloud cover isn't too bad. We can kind of show you a few clouds that are kind of hanging on. Let's make this look a little nicer, shall we? There we go. So you got a little bit of cloud cover, and thank you, Braden from Indiana. So the most significant cloud cover is basically just north of Indianapolis. So it goes up to northern Indiana, Fort Wayne, that area there. So that's going to kind of mix out of here. I think we're going to get a lot of sunshine through the day. So should be in pretty good shape. Let's see here. No worry about heat indices. This is the forecast for today. 86 for your high. Dew point temperature into the upper 60s. So it's still a little humid. Hello, Mike from Central Indiana. Mid 80s later this afternoon. Dew point temperatures into the upper 60s. So it's still a little muggy, but it's not awful. So it should be a pretty good day. Pretty close to where we should be for this time of year. Lows tonight, similar to what we just had. Mid 60s. Could see some lower 60s up north, but mid 60s I think will be kind of common. And then let me go to before we get to tomorrow's forecast. Let me show you what the deal is here. So this is radar and satellite, and what you notice here, let me smooth that up a little bit. So you've got Debbie down in the southeast, and then you've got a cold front that's out to our west. So Debbie has kind of log jammed everything from moving west to east. I think we talked a lot about that this week. So because of that, our cool down that we've been talking about for a while has been delayed somewhat because this cold front cannot continue to march east. It's basically become stationary until Debbie finally makes its way north, which will happen starting later tonight. So it's going to move through the Carolinas and then into Virginia and through New England over the weekend. So it finally kicks into gear, and that's going to allow that cold front to actually move through. So when that happens, you're going to get a nice dip in the jet stream. And so where we had that big heat dome out west, that's out west now, earlier this week, that now retreats back into the desert southwest in Southern California. They're going to be dealing with record heat there, and we've got that nice little dip that's going to bring the cooler temperatures to us over the Midwest here for the weekend. So that's going to be nice. All right, so let me go. We already mentioned today. Today's going to be pretty nice. Mid 70s at noon, 86 for your high. That is average for this time of year. Tomorrow is when we really tap into the nice air. I don't think we make it out of the 70s tomorrow afternoon. And keep in mind, I mean, this is still typically one of the hotter periods of the year, where our average high is 85. So we're running 5-6 degrees below average, and we may be even cooler for the weekend. We could be a good 10 degrees below average on Saturday, 76, and then 78 on Sunday. So it's going to be very, very comfortable this weekend. Hey, Kimberly, good morning. Let me go to the 7-day forecast. Also note the overnight lows. Saturday and Sunday are going to be in the mid-50s. And then upper 50s Monday morning, so kind of crisp to start off those mornings. Very comfortable. And there's no significant signs of either rain over the next 7 days or any significant warm up or rise in humidity values. So once we get past today, which again, I don't think today's going to be bad, but it is going to be the warmest of the next 7. Once we get past today, it is going to be beautiful to be out and enjoy the weather. So please do. It's going to be a good one. Good looking forecast. So not a ton to talk about there. Happy to answer any questions that any of you may have this morning. Feel free to go ahead and post them in the chat. And we can roll along. Let me clear all those out. So we still have Debbie, this is a tropical storm, made landfall again overnight in South Carolina. And there's been several tornado warnings with that today. Kimberly, I have not seen any updates about the tsunami. Let me just double check. Or a potential tsunami. For those of you that don't know, I can hang on a second. Let me reset here. Oh goodness, I gotta go on the fly and find this. Here we go. But there was a early this morning. There's a pretty large earthquake on the south part of Japan. So that is the graphic. It's pretty far away from Tokyo. So it's like on the southern part of the island. But they did issue some I haven't seen any reports of any tsunami approaching the island yet, but they do have some tsunami warnings there. So we'll keep an update on it. Should probably... haven't seen anything on social media really. Yeah, I haven't seen anything new. So we will see, but no alerts. I saw a lot of reports of broken glass. I have not seen a lot of images of damage coming in from the southern part of Japan. But tsunami warnings basically go all the way up to just south of Tokyo. Tokyo not included in the tsunami warnings, so. So there you go. There you have it. All right. 7 p.m. soccer practice. Looks good. Should be comfortable. Cindy, miss seeing you on TV. We do not get channel anymore. I know, Cindy. It's a bummer. But I appreciate it. I Facebook Live here every weekday morning between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. And you can also stream our newscasts on our app and our website, too. I know that's not ideal for everybody because they want to watch it on TV, but that is if you cannot get Wish TV on your cable provider, you can do it that way. Hey, Terry. Sammy, I was wondering how wild is this? Today the Arctic Circle was warmer than parts of Florida. Fort McPherson in Canada. 93 degrees. I did see that actually, and that is true. That does go back to kind of where, let's see if I can kind of make a map on the fly here. But it does kind of go back to, you know, what I mentioned earlier with you know, in North America, specifically the United States and Canada, how temperatures trends can be like a kind of a seesaw a little bit. You know, we were really hot earlier in the week, and then the West wasn't quite as hot, and then that heat has retreated and the cooler air has come back into the Midwest, so it kind of fluctuates a little bit. I'm going to see if I can kind of show the high temperatures from yesterday. Well, but yes, it was interesting to see that. So anyway, yeah, just a little fascinating tidbit about, you know, the Arctic Circle. It did run a little bit, ran technically warmer than it did in Florida. Yeah, 5.2, Terry, and I didn't see really anything significant about damage there. I can look and see where that where we had the earthquake. So I need to change my settings real quick. Let me turn my map back on here. You can watch me kind of go to work here. So California. And we'll just set that down to 5. So there it was, right there. Right around Bakersfield. And that was yesterday. Is Debbie out of Myrtle Beach? I mean, they still are dealing with some remnants there, although it doesn't look like we're getting any rain currently in Myrtle. they got a lot of rain. But it looks like the heaviest banding is just north and east of Myrtle Beach. It's now in North Carolina and kind of wrapping around, and so like around Columbia they're getting some. And then they've had tornado warnings up in northern parts of North Carolina. But Myrtle Beach, it looks like, is clear of rain as of right now. I wouldn't necessarily say they're completely done, but clear of rain for right now. That's the 24-hour rain totals. And actually over the last 3 days, I mean, Myrtle's had a lot of water. About 5 inches, but like Surfside Beach, close to it, North Myrtle Beach, 8 inches of rainfall. So, yeah, it's been pretty bad down there. What else we got here, gang? So that's the 3-day rainfall. I can go 5-day. I mean, Florida was hit pretty hard with some pretty heavy rain, but that shows you right here, gang. And some of these areas in white are representing, 1.5 foot of rainfall. What's up, Jake? Rebecca, you're welcome. So as high as 15 inches of rainfall. That is a lot of water. North Myrtle Beach. Well, it looks like they're dry right now, Rebecca. So that's the good news. The bad news is it just looked like they had a lot of water. But I haven't seen anything, coming out of Myrtle specifically that's been catastrophic or anything like that around the beach. So this wasn't a big wind maker for when with the tropical storm out to sea. It wasn't a big storm surge issue. It was just, it didn't move. The storm stayed stationary over the ocean, and so you just kept getting rain in the same areas over and over and over, and Myrtle was one of those places. So yeah, it was just an immense amount of rain in a short amount of time. So what else we got here, gang? Any other good questions? Happy to address. Oh, I guess I should mention the new drought monitor did come out this morning. I had predicted that they were going to remove some areas from the abnormally dry, but they did keep at least a couple of areas. Just north of Muncie, running a little dry up in Blackford County, Jay County, Wells, and then down south it looks like that would be Bartholomew and Jackson and Western Jennings County. Still considered abnormally dry this one. That's it, though. I mean, we've done pretty well on rainfall. That we are able to eliminate most of that the drought-like conditions, basically. So that is, I guess I could show you the track what's going to happen with Debbie. So latest update, Debbie is well inland now and still technically a tropical storm. Ain't that the truth? But what's going to kind of help the situation out in the Carolinas is Debbie's finally going to kind of move out. It's been camped out for the last 2.5 days. So by this time tomorrow, it won't be a tropical storm anymore. It'll be basically a subtropical or post-tropical system. We'll be in Northern Virginia. So by tomorrow afternoon, it's going to buzz by DC, Philadelphia into Friday afternoon then. So kind of a wet stretch for the nation's capital. Philly, New York City, Boston will probably get a decent amount of rain out of this, and that would be this weekend. So it finally kicks up to the north and east. Any more storms forming out in the Atlantic? Stand by. I'm going to pull in another graphic for you here. Oop. There are some areas that are worth monitoring. So this is what we like to use here. This is the National Hurricane Center's forecast. There are two specific areas that we are kind of looking at over the next 7 days. But you can see in the yellow, it's kind of a low-end threat. So as of right now, no. I will say this, though, that there's been at least a couple of models that want to show some sort of system coming into the Atlantic. I will show you, I think it's the European model that does have some sort of system that forms. I know I saw it early this morning. Now I'm forgetting where. Oh, there we go. It was the European. So this would take us to. And now look, this is where what would be considered way out there. Okay. In terms of forecasting this type of an event. This would be Saturday the 17th, so that is a week from this Saturday. But you can see off the coast of Florida, there is, and this is the European model, and it is advertising the potential for maybe a tropical system. Where it goes from there, I don't know. This is as far as this particular model is going to go out. GFS is also kind of showing something similar in a similar situation, but it stays out to sea and never makes landfall. So we'll see. It's interesting when you see, two models like that are going in the medium range that are kind of agreeing on that a little bit. So we'll see. There's been times where it's been something you need to pay attention to. There's been other times that it's never really materialized. So you have to keep in mind, you have to think about this as this storm that it's predicting, it's a little less than a week and a half away, hasn't even formed yet. These waves come off the coast of Africa and whatever, so does not even exist, technically. So, but to answer your question, possible. So Debbie is kind of like a block for the cold front until Debbie moves out this weekend. It will feel crisp and nice. It feels amazing this morning. Got the windows open and feeling a nice breeze and birds chirping this morning. It makes all the difference in the world to lower the humidity. We got dew points in the low 60s right now. That is manageable. We always say 60 is that threshold, but you go below 60, it feels pretty darn good. Let me show you what our forecast is saying here for the humidity values. Oh, sorry, just skip right over it. But again, this just goes right. So the humidity will take a dive Thursday, tonight, and that cold front finally will move through thanks to that Debbie is going to be moving out, and then we're going to be below those dew point, that 60 degree dew point probably this weekend and into Monday. So it's going to, it feels good now. It's going to feel even better the next couple of days. What are the differences between the different hurricane forecasting models if it's not going to be too? No. So essentially, and I only showed 2 specific ones there. There's several that we can look at in the medium range. Did I close that web page out? I did. I don't know why I did that. So there is the 2 that I showed specifically. One was the European model, and the other was the GFS, which is the American model. There's also a Canadian model. There are different algorithms essentially that go into a lot of the. It goes in pretty deep with. I mean, a lot of this, all this is just these computers are taking in mathematical equations and probabilities and all that other stuff, and so they're created a little bit differently, and so that's why they're not always the same. In certain situations, some model, like the European model, can be more superior. For example, history shows that the European model has been better at winter weather predictions for us, specifically in the Midwest, than the GFS has, especially several days out. Once you get kind of in the near term, when you're like 48 hours out, you don't really use those models. Like the GFS and the European are not a high resolution model. You want something that's going to be a little bit more fine-tuned when you get like in the near term. So, but a lot of it is just mathematical equations and that kind of stuff. The Europeans are doing it a little bit different. There's a boat load of them. Like I said, the Canadian. But these are a handful of models that are available. This is a subscription site that I use. It's called WeatherMill. I've got the Euro. They're now starting to use. They're using AI in some of these weather models as well, and kind of testing how that's working out. That's kind of in an experimental phase. So, I mean, it's still kind of using the same algorithms, but they're using AI to see if it can improve, if it can correct itself on, if there's bad runs or something like that. We've got the Canadian. There's a Japanese one. There's a specific UK model. So they're all different because it's all different people, different organizations that are putting their input to fine tune to get their model to be a little bit better, if that makes sense. I probably just put everybody to sleep. Are you awake over there? You weren't paying attention either?
Yep. I often don't pay attention to you, so.
Sounds all right. I wouldn't either. Also, a friendly reminder here before I wrap things up, guys. I do stream on YouTube. This as well, so if you'd rather watch it on your television and not your phone or iPad, you can do that. You got it, Mike. Hey, Rosemary. Good morning. So I'll go back to the extended. Just one last time before we sign off, so you can look at this beautiful weather that we are going to experience. Sorry. So there you go. Pretty nice weather. You got it, Terry. So a little warm today, but it's still pretty good, and then it's going to get really, really nice. Really nice starting tomorrow and then this weekend. So hopefully you can sneak out and enjoy it. All right, guys. I'm going to jump off here because I got to get ready for some 10 o'clock stuff, and then I'm done for the day. We'll do this again tomorrow morning at, again, 8:30, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Hope to see you for another riveting edition of Morning Weather Chat here. All right? Have a good day, guys. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.